Hi guys, Alec Peirce at the ranch, and today I want to share a little bit of a story and a bit of information about my windmill. This windmill is very, very special to me, as you understand in just a moment. And Kevin and I are going to do a series of 3 or 4 or 5 episodes about the windmill, because there's a lot of things about the windmill that make it very special, and that if you have a windmill or have access to a windmill or would like a windmill, this information might be really valuable to you. First of all, let me tell you about my windmill. This windmill came from Cajun. Small little town, 2 hours from here, north of my hometown, Lindsay in Ontario. And these windmills were very common. Almost every farm at one time had a windmill. This windmill was built in 1915. It's a Beatty Pumper, B-E-A-T-T-Y. Kevin's going to show you that. Beatty Pumper was the name of the windmill. Beatty Pumper Company, located in Ontario, sold windmills all across Canada and all over the northern United States as well. Big, big name. Beatty Pumper. The company was bought out by GSW. You know them better as GE. And they now make refrigerators and so on. And the Beatty Pumper name and the Beatty Pumper windmills have long since disappeared. So 1915, so that's 120 years ago, roughly 115 years ago, this was built, this windmill. Very, very common. I bet you within 5 miles of here, I can take you to 10 Beatty Pumpers. Very few of them are still working. This one's in perfect working condition. So first of all, why do I have a windmill? It's a water windmill. People always ask, oh, you have a windmill, so you don't pay for electricity. Well, I wish that were true, but no. A water-type, old-fashioned windmill like this is very difficult, if not impossible, to use from generating electricity. The fan turns very slowly. You'd have to gear it up, it takes a lot of energy, then you'd have to have the proper generator or alternator to power. It would just be very difficult to use this to generate electricity. These were water pumping windmills. The farmer would dig a well out in the middle of his ranch, his pasture, wherever it might be, put a windmill over it and have a trough under it, and it would water his cattle. That's what they were for. And they worked really well. Very low maintenance. They ran for years and years and years, and it did a great job. Why do I have one? When I was a little boy, 4, 5, 6 years old, living in Lindsay, my dad had a very dear friend who lived in a small town, little village just outside of Lindsay, that he would visit every second or third Saturday morning. And old Mr. Lloyd was a fantastic old man. I loved him. He was great. Taught me a lot of neat stuff. He had an incredible library. He's an old British fellow in his 90s and read a lot. He was actually a professor, and he was also a minister, a reverend. Anyway, he's long gone. But the story is that after a while, as my dad and Mr. Lloyd would sit and chat about old times in England and so on, I would get bored and I would go outside, because Mr. Lloyd had a windmill, just like this. Yeah, he had an old-fashioned windmill that actually ran, supplied water for him and his neighbors and his cattle, and it ran all the time. When I would sit at the base of his windmill, I could put my hand on it, and it would spin, and I could see the water coming out. I would look at the machinery, and I guess after a period of time, I simply fell in love with that windmill, with windmills. And so when I finally moved out of the city and got a place in the country, 35 years ago, something like that, I decided, great, now I have room, I'm going to get a windmill, and I searched. Took me a little bit of time, but I finally found a good working Beatty Pumper windmill. It wasn't in perfect shape, but it was good, still standing. Took a bit of work, but my dear brother and I, we managed to get that windmill down onto the ground without destroying it, and I bored a boat trailer. One of my friends has a 40-foot boat, and I bored his trailer. We got the windmill up onto the trailer, and I hauled it here to the ranch and got to work. Took me quite a while. I rebuilt the entire thing. Took the engine all apart, took all the bearings out, rebuilt the whole thing. I searched for information on Beatty. There still is some around. I learned how to fix it, how to maintain it, what oil. I learned all about that windmill. The tower on the original windmill was built from relatively light steel, and it was pretty rusty. So I made a new tower. All this structure you see here is brand new, all made from heavy-duty steel, same dimensions, but much stronger. So it's a very strong and all brand new tower. Everything up top, the actual power head itself, is all original. Let me give you some terminology. So this is called the tower. Here's the tower, these parts here. All this structure is the tower. 4 legs in this case. Some windmills have 3, bigger windmills have 4. This is what's called a big windmill. It's 52 feet tall. Windmills came anywhere from 20, 25, 30, 40, and so on. This is a 50-foot windmill, 52 feet actually to the top. So it's a heavy-duty tower, heavy-duty angle iron. It also has a unique ladder. Many windmills have a ladder. It looks like a ladder. It runs right up the middle with rungs, and you climb up like a ladder. This is unique. I don't know if you can see this, Kevin, but you can see over here, one of the legs has bolt-on steps. These are original. These steps are original, and they bolt on. So now you can climb up the leg. The advantage to that is there's one less thing to maintain. Those old ladders, they weren't fantastic. They were just a thin strap steel on each side and some metal rungs. They got rusty and they broke down pretty regularly. This lasts forever, number one. Secondly, the angle is less. Because it's on one of the legs, it's not quite as sharp an angle, so you're not climbing almost straight up. You're climbing at more of an angle. So it's fairly comfortable to climb to the top. So another nice feature about this particular windmill. A bit more on terminology. You get to the very top and there's a platform. It's called a platform, just that simple. And above the platform is the actual working part of the windmill. First of all, there's a big thing that spins around when it's windy. It's called the fan. And then there's another triangular thing that sticks out of it. That's called the tail. Now those are pretty logical terms. Fan spins around in the wind, and the tail, we'll talk about that some other time, makes the windmill face into the wind all the time. The big thing in the middle, the big silver dome on top of it, where the gears and the bearings and all that is located, that's called the engine. Yep, they called it the engine. So if you have a fan that drives the engine, and the tail that makes the fan face into the wind, you're all set to go. And then that rotary motion, as the fan spins around and around and around inside the engine, that's converted into vertical motion. So you can see, Kevin, come down a little bit, you can see that 2 square inch rod that hangs down. That's what happens when the windmill spins. That rod is pulled up and down, 6 to 8 inches on each stroke. 6 to 8 inches on each stroke. And then that comes all the way down to here and connects to a pump. Now, strictly speaking, gets more terminology, the pump. The pump is the thing that actually makes the water come up and out. The pump you can't see. The pump is 30 feet down into the well. That's the thing that's down in there in the water. That's the actual pump. The part that you see, that everybody calls a pump, is actually a standard. It's called the standard. And this particular standard has several features as well, which we're going to share in a subsequent video because it's a pretty neat one. Used on farms and does a lot of interesting things. So there you go. There's some information about the windmill, why I have it, why I like it so much, why I work so hard for it. The only other thing I need to add is that when we came here and bought this property, there was nothing here. So the first thing I had to do was dig a well. Now, I don't know if you're aware of that, but the province of Ontario and many other jurisdictions don't like dug wells. 100 years ago, they were all dug by hand. Now they use drills, well drilling. But this is a dug well. It's 30 inches in diameter, has cement sides, cement casings in there, that tall, a bunch of them, going down 50 feet, and a steel tube at the very bottom. The cement casings are sealed together, so it's a very, very safe well. No groundwater goes into the well. Only the deep water coming through from the water table goes into the well. So it's a very, very safe, but it is a dug well. Made a cap on it, put the standard on there, and hooked it up. So there's a quick synopsis why I have a windmill, some terminology, we can talk about it in the future, and some pictures of it as well. I'm going to see if Kevin can get a picture of it spinning. We don't have much wind today, Kevin, but maybe I can make it work. Okay, that's it, guys. Talk to you soon. Alec Peirce at the ranch, talking about one of my favorite subjects, my windmill. See you soon.